So this is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Yo, this is Tony Terry, and you're watching Dope Living TV.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver, and whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
What's up? We watching Dope Living TV. What you watching?
Yo, welcome to Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. We got it all. Come and see. Yeah. You see. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Yeah. Check us out. Come and see.
Whether in the house or outside. What up? This is your boy Greg Ray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let's start by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Man, look, today we were supposed to again have Miss Katina Fields, my public relations PR person, on the show to talk about her journey and some new things that she has going on. But she's going through a couple of little issues right now with, illness with her father. So just ask you guys to keep Katina, her father, her family in your prayers. What up, Steve?
Hey, G. Hey, my prayers are with Katina and the family. Man, I understand.
Yeah. Kind of sort of like what we're talking about today, okay? Being caregivers, not necessarily given the title formally, but naturally having to become a caregiver for your elder, your mom or your dad, aunt, cousin, whomever that's got dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer, anyone that can't do for themselves. What's it like being a caregiver and taking on that responsibility? It's a huge task. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. I wanted to say real quick, man, again, we pointed it out yesterday, but I couldn't get it right. And thank you. I forgot who that was that pointed it out. Danny Marie. Kiki Shepard died. She was the Vanna White before Vanna White. Okay, she was on the Apollo. She was the lady that came out and walked the people out that were on the Showtime at the Apollo. And, she passed away. So condolences to her family. She did such a wonderful job on that show, man. And we're going to miss you, Kiki. Fine. She was fine, dude. She walked out on that stage, man, in them outfits. And you know what I mean?
Daddy. I want to say something, too. They got these nice glasses I got y'all. These is exclusive, customized by one of our own, I'll say. Bobby Strutchin's cousin. Mm-hmm. He got the Lazarus Boy comic book, Black Superhero. Okay. So we need to check this out. And hey, they customized. He got them with the purple lenses for the epilepsy enlightenment.
Man. Okay, so now
thank you.
I like that.
I like that, cuz. I like that.
It's on you, Steve, to get him to come on the show so he can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm in that. Trust me.
I like that, cuz. I like that.
And it's a black superhero.
That's right.
Black superhero.
Did we teach this guy well, man?
Yes, we did.
Oh, come on now. He knows the game.
And y'all see, I got the epilepsy enlightenment shirt on with him.
We got you.
That hustle well, man.
That's right. That's right.
I was ready for Katina today. You see, I was ready. How you was talking to me yesterday. I say, you know what? Mm-hmm. Let me show Greg how ready I am.
Mm-hmm. She sees, like I said, she's going through something, man.
No, I know, and my prayers are with her because we all going through something right now. And like you said, when it comes to caring for our people, it is hard. Because
I might be flying out there, man. Might be flying out to California after the relationship roundtable.
Okay.
Just to give her some support. That's my dog. I mean, that's my girl. We've been from the beginnings, man.
Way back.
Yeah.
Just have my plane ticket there for at the airport if I could fly out with you.
She was there. I got you, man. I guess that's that
That's that $10.
That's interest on that 10. Yeah. That ain't true. He's learning well. Grasshopper, take the pebble out of my hand. He's learning. He's learning. But man, for real, I was trying to stall so I could make sure that my sister got on here. What's up, Gina?
What's up, Jim?
Hey,
What's going on?
buddy.
Yeah, man. So again, man, we're talking about caregiving. Okay. Sometimes we're thrown into that position, whether we want to or not. All right. But the thing is, well, let's just get into it. First, let me give you a couple of little notes here. They say that it's been said in research that nearly 1 in 5 adults in the United States are caregivers. And that means that there's millions of people that are silently juggling that role. And caregivers often spend 20 plus hours a week providing, get this, unpaid care. Basically, it's a part-time job on top of your regular life. All right.
Yeah.
Now it's a fact, and I know it. I know Gina knows it. Steve knows. Well, all of us knows this. Okay, and I hope a lot of people out there knows this and can relate to this. People that are caring for the loved ones with dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever, they have a high stress level. They have a high stress level. Okay, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, but you're being put into a position where this person that cared for you, that bandaged you up when you was, this person, now they're you. The roles have reversed. Now they're the baby. They're the young person, and you have to do for them. How I'm just gonna open it up right now, man. What are your views on that?
Well, my sisters actually took that role on, and I just, whatever they needed, as far as, financial, whatever, I just gave it to them, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they needed for mama. They took that role on for my mother because she chronically ill, and she was for about a year before she passed on. And my dad, on the other hand, it wasn't even no time with him. They made a big mistake on him while he was on the operating table.
Wow.
That's what killed him. He went into a coma, never woke up.
Steve, you want to say something?
I mean, I understand because even like when my dad first got sick at a point in time, certain things my dad didn't want to allow my sisters to do for him.
Right.
That he let it be known, hey, I need you to come do this. And trust me, it probably wasn't my first choice, but it was, I need you to do this for me. This ain't nothing I want your sisters to do, to see. So you have to understand that. And it is, like Byron said, it's not for the meek and it's not for the weak. And you truly have to love that person. For the ones that work for it, for money, sometimes that can go bad. That's why I love it where they can choose their homemakers, because who go do you wrong and who go do you right.
Yeah. Well, the thing about mine is they had already been living together.
Oh yeah.
All 3 of them had already been living together. And whenever she got sick, it was like it was a natural thing for them to continue on. I just say, whatever y'all need, let me know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? If you look at it overall, the majority of the time it's the daughter that ends up the caregiver. Usually it's not the son. It's almost like everyone just knows that the daughter is going to be taking.
It's like natural. It's almost like natural.
Yeah. It's like after the mother. I understand that, but my dad, one of them strong old men, born in the 1940s. Like, no. No.
See, here's the thing too. In my family, there's 6 boys. That's
I was going to say,
girl.
There's no options.
So we have to take turns, primarily, and I can speak on this. And the thing that gets me is to see the transformation. You know what I'm saying? To go from point A to point Z, and you're watching all this to a point where they barely know you. And it's a thing of making sure that they keep that normalcy as much as probably their dignity. What's something, if y'all don't mind me asking you guys, what's something about caregiving that people don't see or they don't understand?
Oh, the stress.
I mean, that right there.
The stress and the toll that it take on people. It's not an easy task. It's not easy at all. And people don't see that. I think if you've gone through it, you understand. I didn't understand
Right.
it when I had to take on the role. I didn't know it. I actually did a lot of research on it because I wasn't familiar with taking on that kind of role. And it was with my mother-in-law. It wasn't even, my mom, or it was my mother-in-law. And I had to research and find out how to care for a person with dementia.
Mhm.
So I did a lot of research. And a lot of the research that I found, it stated you need to take some time away from it. You need to step out of it for a little while.
Oh, okay.
I've been one of the people that actually needed the care. So I know it can be a headache because I probably was a headache.
So,
say it again, good.
Because I'm not gonna tell people, I'm not gonna point flags if I'm a flag. You know what I'm saying?
You a flag.
I'm gonna tell them the truth. I know they probably didn't like all the time coming to see me. But once you find that one that works good with you and you work good with her,
good.
It goes good. And I hate to say it, but my dad had a caregiver. She left there crying.
I'm gonna tell you.
My dad
you said the caregiver left there crying.
Left there crying. My dad was one of them true.
I can believe it.
1948 old black men that's stronger than the world.
They don't want the help. They don't want the help.
But Jenny, you made a good point. Okay, you when you're getting put into that position, you got to study about it. You see it coming, but you got to study about it. But what happens when you don't study about it, and you get in that position, and you everything starts coming and digressing. The 20 minutes turn into 5 minutes that they remember the conversation. I'm telling you, I didn't study on it. Okay, my mom is 89, aptly named. Well, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's 89 years old now. She'll be 89 in July, and to see her go from this strong black woman from the South, okay, to start slowly forgetting things. Slowly, I mean, we noticed it. This is how we noticed it. And my brother, and I got to say this too before I tell that story. My brothers, I have amazing brothers. They're all over the country. Okay, yes, but they each do what they can individually for my mom. Period. When they come here, they're hands-on. Period. But when they're not, they're taking care of affairs and this and that. Okay, so it gives me, who's here the most, a break. But when you well, let me ask you guys this question. Have you ever felt guilty for being overwhelmed and needing a break?
I can't answer that question truthfully. I know my sisters and them probably did, because I know how my mama could be, And I'm just being real. Gina baby wasn't no joke. So, I mean, and she just tell her like it is. That's the way she was. And I know that she probably pushed all the buttons and the ejection seats and everything and threw a few fingers. And I'm just saying that's the way she was.
I think it's natural, though. You know what I'm saying? I think it's natural to be overwhelmed, and it's especially like to Gina's point again. If you haven't studied up on it or don't know what you're getting into or what's happening, I'm not gonna say what you're getting into because it's not a negative thing. Because I consider what's going on with me, my mom, my brothers, and everything, I consider it a blessing. Okay, because now we have the opportunity to do something for a woman who did everything for us when we were little. Okay, everything. So now we have that opportunity. It's a blessing to be able to do so. Now it's disheartening and sad when she can't remember 2 minutes ago. You know what I mean? If I leave if I'm here talking to her, we have a great conversation, and I leave the room and I come back, she don't remember she doesn't remember the conversation at all. Let me read a couple of these comments. Okay, Bobby said the unexpected loss of a loved one you knew, even though they are still alive and with you, is something you cannot prepare for. Absolutely. Byron said, currently, my sister and I are taking care of our oldest sister who is suffering from the effects of multiple strokes. So I know what it takes. I also helped my wife take care of her mother up until her death, and her mother was bedridden with Parkinson's disease. It's rough, man. Praying for you, Brian, and your family, man, as well. But answer that for me. Have you all ever, Maurice Sanchez? Dang, Gina, we said Sheena said it the other day, Maurice. We don't call him Maurice, we call him Mo.
He just did it again.
Did it again. Have you
Serious
ever
conversations called serious names?
Yeah. Don't call me Gregory though. Have you ever felt guilty, Steve, for being overwhelmed? Because I know you're dealing with it now as well with your father. Have you ever felt guilty for needing a break? Tell the truth.
I'll say yes.
Mm-hmm.
But and I don't want to call it guilt though. I don't want to say it's guilt because I don't think you guilty because you need a break. I mean, you have to, because if you don't, you will break down. So if you don't take a break, don't worry, it will break you down. And see, that's why what Gina say, I agree with 100%, because if you just keep pushing yourself, you go push yourself to yourself breakdown, and that's gonna be worse. We all know, right? We all know. I mean, I watched my sister go through it. Like Mo said, I watched my sister go through it with my dad, because it's that one sister, like you say, you call so much to do so much, and they still got their families and what they have to do. And I mean, it's just hard because, like you say, we come in a diaper. And it's a blessing to see them leave in a diaper, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's how it is.
I didn't come in a diaper.
What, you came in the cloth? Bare butt?
I came butt naked.
Ass naked.
I don't.
I'm just playing. I know what you mean.
I do not believe you. Show me some pictures.
Listen, I want to say this because I'm going to be transparent. I have felt guilty for losing my patience. It's not that I need a break. It's that I lost my patience because I didn't take a break. So, I mean, you can say that, yeah, you did. But I have felt guilty because I lost my patience. Mom,
because you kept pushing,
and then and I've come home and I've had to call her and say, Mom, I'm sorry for blowing my top, or I had to say, man, I got to be a little bit more patient with this, So yeah, I can say I honestly have.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I know I have.
Hey, go, G. I can't hear you. Go.
Huh?
No, talk. I didn't mean to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know me, man. I could be sitting down in a chair, and her and I having a conversation. She'll get up, walk around. I'm just giving this one example. I ain't gonna tell all of my stories with this journey. Sit up. She'll get up. She'll walk around, and she'll walk right past me, and pop me in my jaw. And I'm like,
I'm gonna try that.
It was for something. It was for something.
She's gonna pretend like she got it. She gonna say, yeah, she popped me in my jaw. She popped. I mean, she slapped the shit out of me. Okay, and I'm like,
man, that's a stage they go through, and I was not expecting that stage. I got hit so hard. I literally did see stars.
See?
And it came so quick that my reflexes.
Did you swing back almost?
I did. No, not almost. I did.
Really?
I laughed.
No, you didn't.
It was just a reflex. It was a reflex.
You hit your mom. You hit your mom.
My mother-in-law.
Oh, you see?
That's okay.
Was that really a reflex?
It was unexpected, and by the time her fist hit me upside the head, I was seeing stars, and I just swung back.
I don't know about this one, Gina. This one could be skeptical.
It was not on purpose. I promise you, it was not. It was a reflex.
Have you ever heard? You know what? I remember when people used to use the term of accidentally on purpose?
Mm.
It
What
can't
the
be both. It cannot be both.
Yeah,
It can't be
accidentally
both.
on purpose. You know.
Yeah,
It can't be
accidentally
both.
on purpose wrecked your car.
You know how
I
you
just
said
laughed
something you
though.
was thinking. Did I say that out loud?
Mm.
You know,
I
it's
laughed
like
my
that.
ass off. I laughed really hard.
But I'm gonna tell you this, and this always hangs on my mind. When I went to Dominican, I found out over there they don't have nursing homes in a lot of these other countries. They do not believe in putting their parents in a nursing home. They don't even have nursing homes anywhere in
Like
there.
the Asians.
They feel like my parents took care of me, and now that they're older, I'm
It is
obligated to take care of them.
Right.
And they take care of their parents no matter how ill they are.
That's the
Us
Asians.
over here,
Asians do the same thing.
if our parents are, you know,
Too much.
inconvenience,
Quick to put them in
they're
the home.
going right into a nursing home.
And I don't like that.
You know what I'm saying? And we got all these reasons why, you know, some people work and they can't care for their parents. The parent has to have 24-hour care. Can you actually quit your job and take care of your parents?
And are you
those
medically
things I
trained
understand.
to take care of your parent?
And those things we understand. It was just a blessing that my mom took in my mother-in-law, and she lived with her until she passed away.
Mm.
You know, if you have a structure like that, it's different. But a lot of people don't have that family structure where the parent can be with someone in the family. And I think it's really sad, though. I really think it's sad.
Well,
I do
Because
too.
our parents went through a lot for us.
Man,
I mean,
I can-
Asian culture is the same way. The Mexican culture is the same way.
Mhm.
They believe in taking care of their elders because their elders raised
Took
them,
care of them. Yeah.
and they believe in passing that. What we call passing on the knowledge. They pass on that stuff, and that's how they keep their culture cohesive. You know, because they respect the elders, and they let the elders, you know, pass on that knowledge, so they're not stepping in the hole that's been dug by society for them to fall into. You know, they let them know that they stood on other people's shoulders. You know?
Here's another scenario here, okay? Well, first let me ask you guys this. Have you ever felt like, because we've all been caregivers, I should say. Caretakers, wow, Greg. Have you ever felt like that responsibility fell on you unfairly?
No.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. But then I have to realize I only have one living sibling and she's not close by. And I think that all ties into being frustrated or being, you know, overwhelmed, or, you know, it gets to be too much. That's why, again, it's important, like I found out through the research, it's important to take time away. They have adult daycares, you know. There's different resources out there. They have, I found they have places that come pick up your parent and take them, you know, to do arts and crafts and things. Those were the things that I found out when I researched, you know, to give you a break.
Yeah, Brother Banks said some of those countries speak about have compounds for handicapped and ill. Y'all want Brother Banks to come on with us?
Come on, man.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you, he's absolutely right, because when I went to Haiti, in Haiti, if a woman has a handicapped child, they throw them away like garbage. Wow. And so we went to this orphanage that actually goes around and they pick up those kids that are tossed on the side of the road because that's some kind of handicap. And they lived in that orphanage.
In those compounds.
And it didn't even, I guess you could call it that, but they do a lot with them. They teach them, they go to school. And the year we went to Haiti, that was the first year that they had any graduates. They had 2 graduates. So kids that they had got when they were young, babies, and they raised them up and they were going off to college.
So I guess the question is, was it the Haitian culture that picked them up, or was somebody outside of their culture?
All of those people were from the United States.
I guess when they say it probably was.
Came from the United States. Even at the time we were there, they had electricians there
From the U.S. Yeah.
Some company volunteered to come there and work on their electricity and other things that they needed, running water. They volunteered to come over and do those things. They were from the U.S.
That
Hey,
was
Bobby
after the
said,
earthquake. Was that after the
What?
earthquake?
Say that again, Mo.
Was that after the earthquake, the big earthquake?
Yes, that was after the devastation, and man, they have not
bad.
bounced back from that yet.
They still
They
haven't.
have
Yeah,
not
it's been
bounced
years.
Yeah.
hey, Bobby says, my mom said, do what you do for me from the love you have. And that's enough. Nobody can love for you. You gotta individualize it on your own. For real. I invited Brother Banks to come on. Okay, we'll see if he does. Let me get to something else. So what happens when family disagrees on how care should be handled?
Oh my gosh!
That's like the funeral. That's like a funeral. Everybody say what's up to my brother Anthony Banks.
Brother Banks, what's going on?
Hey, how doing?
What's going on?
From Melanin and Marriage, okay, and you know, I invited him to come on. He always has something great to say about a lot of different subjects.
Y'all talking my subject tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
That can tear. It's sad, but that actually tears a lot of families apart.
It does.
It does, and it can, only because in some situations the jealousy takes place. The other part is people see the end of the cycle of a loved one where they start looking for money.
Yep.
They already taking claims.
Yes. Yeah. So they already got their hands, prepared, to seek something. And then you start looking at age, which child is taking care of the parent, whether it be the older or the younger, more times over, it's the youngest child. But it's and that's why my dad lives with me now. My mom was living with me in the last 4 years of her life. And I've been a caregiver. And when you speak about nursing homes, I kind of want to touch on this because a lot of times we think nursing homes are bad. Now, they have bad nursing homes, don't get me wrong. Because unfortunately, my mom was in a situation where the nursing home was bad and I got her out of there. But the biggest thing is being present. But if you don't have the capability of taking care of your loved one at your house, don't put them in more dire straits, just because your siblings are saying don't send them. But they got to have the medical care that's necessary for them to go through.
It all depends on the situation.
Fortunately for my mother, my niece and my sister, they're in healthcare. That's what they do. So I mean, it was they do it every day. That's what they did at work. So it wasn't no big thing for them. So.
But Mr. Banks, I think it's not even that, all nursing homes are bad, and they aren't, as you stated. It's the cost that kicks
and what they
want.
It's going to get into that. I had questions for that one as well, Gina.
Go ahead. So let me say this. It is a cause for long-term care. So that's the difference, long-term care. Now, if you do put your loved one in long-term care, take everything out their name.
Yep, because they
want everything. Because they want everything that's in their name.
Yep, they're gonna come for all of it. My mother, everything. My mother was in the steel mill. She had that platinum plan in the steel mills. That's what she did. That wasn't even enough. We had her there in Gary just. Yeah, she had been out of the mills like 30 years. So, I mean, she was in like fan, and
still ain't enough. Still wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. She was out there in Maryville for about I'm ready to say 3 or 4 months. She wanted to get out of there. We actually transferred her here to Tennessee.
I do want to state this, and a lot of times we're unaware what's available. And a lot of times, so my mom and dad has 2 different scenarios. My dad is a veteran.
Oh,
So
yeah. So
he has the VA to take care of his care when he needs to, or if he have a need to have a caregiver, VA has that covered. My mom, low income, she was on Medicare, Medicaid, and so when you have low income relatives or family members that are on that are in need of care, please, please, please call the state.
Yep.
And get all the benefits that they can get through the state first. Yes,
I agree.
because with that, my mom got all her incontinence. That would be all her Depends, her Chucks.
Yep.
Her wheelchair, her bed, her porta potty. Heck, they even turned my powder room into a full bathroom.
Dang.
So that she can have, because they have what's called home adaptation.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
The walk-in tub, like.
Well, they could have done a walk-in tub, but I chose the shower over the tub.
Okay.
Yeah.
And had the seat in there.
Okay, so let me make this statement here. Early signs of burnout often go ignored because caregivers feel like they don't have a choice. So the question that I have for you guys is, who takes care of the caregiver? Is love enough when you exhausted every day? I mean, who takes care of the caregiver?
You.
Yeah,
well, I heard somebody say,
I got money, bro, Banks, but I can't take care of everybody.
No. I'm saying,
no, I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
I heard somebody talk about guilt earlier in the conversation. And so when my uncle was in hospice and he knew I was taking care of my mom, and my mom was very demanding, he told me, he said, listen, I'm here in the same position your mother is in, and you have to say no without guilt. Because if you continue to say yes for everything, you're not going to be able to take care of the things outside the house that you need to take care of for her. Because she's going to tie you to the house. And so that's the one thing that changed me. Like immediately. Because when they feel like they can't go nowhere on their own, they can't move on their own, they rely on you. You have to help them to understand that, Mom, look, I got to go to the pharmacy. I got to go get food. I got to cook. We didn't have an aide until later on. But when COVID hit, I was the aide.
We want to make sure they have their dignity, make sure they can some
Oh
dignity.
my God, you said the key word right there, dignity.
Yeah, and that's I'm still learning. Okay, my mom's been steadily, I'll say, digressing. I don't want to say anything else, but she's steadily digressing to a point now where, again, 5 minutes we can have a great conversation. If I leave the room and come back, she has no recognition of that conversation. And if I got a beard now, but if I shave it off and grow it back, she'll ask me countless times, who are you? Who are you? Shave that stuff off, okay? So I can know who you are. I mean, it's just a thing of, like you said, Brother Banks, sometimes you got to say no, because like I'll tell her, I won't wash a dish until she washes it. I won't even not talk about it, but look at them, because I'm telling her, Mom, you got to get up, you make that dish, you got to wash it, okay? And she's like, I don't feel like it. And so then I'm starting to boil a little bit. I'm like, well, you said that you was going to do it. Well, I'm gonna do it when I get ready. Now, what you gonna say? And I'm
That's
like,
when she hit you. That's when she hit you.
I'm like, look, partner.
That's right when you got popped.
If that lightning bolt come across there,
you gotta think of it. That was that same day.
That's when you got popped.
We went in because she kept defying. She was defying. Told me, she said, I'm gonna watch this, but this is my house. I'm gonna watch this when I get ready. I'm like, no, you're gonna watch this. It's now. Who the mama? Who the baby? She said, who the mama? Who the baby? I said, well, I'm not a baby. As you can tell, I'm a grown man, okay? And so she said, okay. Well, shut up, and I'm gonna do when I get ready. So I'm thinking she's getting ready to get up and go wash the dishes. So she walking by, and she She don't even look. She snuck it. I mean, boy. I mean, if Tyson had that move, he wouldn't have lost to Buster Douglas. I'm telling you. Right?
It was quick as lightning.
It was.
So y'all let me know
like,
right there. You
wow.
didn't tell the whole story when you first started talking about it.
Yeah.
Man.
You brought that up on yourself.
But let me ask y'all. See, we're talking about this, okay? But why do we wait until there's a crisis? Why do we wait until it gets to a point that is happening to you that we start talking about aging and caring for? Why do we wait?
It's a scary conversation.
Because it's not.
Nobody wants to look ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It's not in your circle, so you don't pay attention to it. It's not affecting your daily life yet.
But we don't think about that as our parents. We think our parents will live forever.
Superhero.
We don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we don't want to accept it.
And everyone doesn't go like that. Because I knew a lady, she lived to be like 98 years old. And this lady was still driving her car around doing everything. And she used to tell me, she say, I put diapers on your daddy and you.
That's funny.
This lady, and she was serious. And like I say, I seen her get older, but it's like I never seen a health decline.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I mean, the health, you know,
she passed when she passed, but like in dementia, I never seen none of that. Miss Springer was up, and Miss Springer until the day she died.
You know,
when she died, you like, she died.
We never know that our parents will get. Like my mom will be 82 this year. I do a lot for her, but she's not incapacitated. She's still working. She's still driving. She still will smack the heck out of you. You know,
she's still taking people's money at the bid whist table. She's still taking money. All right.
Well, I'm gonna run this Boston on you, boy. Get your
man. Tournament. Your mama ain't going nowhere.
Gina's mama.
So
different.
We never. I think it's unexpected when it happens because we see our parents doing and consistently doing even in their older age, and then all of a sudden it happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, like my father, I you know, like I said, that's my hero, and you know, when he died on the operation, I was so pissed, man. I was pissed. I drove all night to get to Dallas, all night long to get there, and got there at the hospital and saw him in that bed, and it wasn't because of what he was there. It's supposed to be an outpatient surgery, and he ended up in a coma. They knew he was a diabetic. Why'd they give him what they gave him?
And so that was unexpected, correct?
Yeah,
that
it was very unexpected.
You were
I had just had a
conversation.
I had a conversation. Me and my dad used to sit on the phone and talk for 4 or 5 hours. I used to get off work, and you know he called, and I'd sit on the phone until like 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, we were that tight. And when my brother from brother there in Dallas told me, he was in the hospital, and he had told me the night before, actually 2 nights before, that he was going for outpatient, and he said something. I got an idea I need to talk to you about. It's an invention. Nerd stuff like we started talking, and I said, Dad, just wait till you get out. And I'll never, ever, 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 ever. If anybody say that, I'll never do that again. I'll let them talk until they pass out, because he had something to tell me, and I didn't let him tell me. Because I said, I'll just wait till you get out.
Those are the hard times.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was the same thing with my dad. My dad, he was dying of cancer, and I will never forget this. I was in my early 20s, and I was running late for work, and he asked me to go to Walgreens and get some light bulbs, and I wouldn't do it. I'm late for work. I was already late for work, so what was a 15 or 20 more minutes going to do? And I didn't do it, and I regret that to this day. And that's why I do so much for my loved ones, because
why do you put that on yourself when it's something minuscule as a light bulb or a soda that my uncle tried to send my cousin across town to get him a ginger ale? You know what I'm saying? So you have to say no without guilt, because you have so many other things.
It's easier said than
It's
done.
not easier said than done because I've done it.
Mr. Banks,
Because-
I could have gotten. I sat there for another 45 minutes. I could have gotten those light bulbs.
Because I want to crack a joke. My brother is just like you. He has no guilt to say no. My dad asked my brother to go get some catfish. My brother told him, I don't put dirty food in my car. And he didn't give my daddy no catfish. So he didn't mind saying no.
Well, see, there's a fine line in selfishness and no. You know what I'm saying? There's a fine line in that. But here's what you have to understand with that, Gene, and I think you really should. You getting a light bulb wasn't going to change the circumstances. It really wasn't. God had already made the order. He'd already put that in. It wasn't going to change the circumstances.
But it made that person feel better. That's it. That's what it would have did. Why you say it wouldn't have changed the circumstances? It would have. Because a circumstance when a person wasn't smiling, then that person would have been smiling. So that would have changed some type of circumstances. Maybe not for a long time, but it would have changed it at that point.
You know, I can remember when I got to the hospital there in Dallas, and he was in ICU. They had he was in a coma, and I went into the room and I said, "Daddy," and he moved, and the nurse came and said he hadn't moved since he'd been in here. You came in here and said, "Daddy," and he moved. It's like he heard me, and he was starting to move, trying to move, kept moving and kept moving and kept moving. And so they had to actually sedate him more to keep him from trying to get up.
You know what's odd, Mo? I was thinking while y'all were talking, okay? There was a friend of mine. Her father was one of my father's best friends. And he I don't know what happened to him, but he had to go to the hospital. He got there and guess, it kept him for some time, for about 2 or 3 weeks. He died, okay? He died there at the hospital. So the family was in the lobby and everything. I mean, they clinically, he was gone. Family in the lobby, everybody talking. I went up there, but I had left. And I get a call from the girl. She says, "Greg, you're not going to believe it." I said, "What?" She said, "Dad is up here talking, laughing like ain't nothing happening."
What?
I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, and tell him, I said, "Hi, I'm not coming back." It's some different things going in there. And then a day later, he died. For real.
Wow.
What happened? They couldn't even explain it. I mean, he was up. He sat up in his bed. The air looking like, whoa. And I'm saying, whoa, I wasn't there, but he got up. She had a video. She showed me. He's up talking, and I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't never seen her again though. I wasn't gonna date it. I wasn't gonna. I know, it's some different shit going on there. But
I don't know. My dad, he was in the church and stuff, so he had prayer warriors up there, and they was praying for him. So I wouldn't be surprised when I walked up there. He was trying to get up out that bed to talk to me, And
I've seen 2 miracles in my life. One was my mother. And the doctors had prepared us to really say goodbye. And my mother was on ventilation. She had RSV, pneumonia, and she also had with a combination of COPD. And so they said once we take this ventilator off, she got about 20% of chance of living. And my cousin came in along with my uncle, and they prayed over her. After we got the news, they prayed over her, and my mother had this very alert look on her face. And she kind of sat up. And we was like, what the heck is going on? And they took the ventilator off. My mother did 4 more years after that.
Man.
And I believe that because that is God.
Yes.
And Brother Banks, I'm with you on that because my brother today is 55 years old, has 8 grandchildren and 4 children. My brother was pronounced dead for 2 minutes and 37 seconds when he was 4 years old because my uncle shot him in the chest. They were the same age playing with a gun. Hey, AG, you know my uncle too. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. You're right. Yeah.
Shot my brother, him and my brother the same age. Shot him in the chest. My brother had a sheet over him. My uncle, one of my elder uncles, who was the elder statesman of the family, he came in there and he told them to take that off of them. Take that sheet off, and he ain't nothing. He ain't gone. My brother say he met somebody that told him to go back and be with his mother. And then let me tell you something. My brother's birthday is December 25th.
He the Messiah.
I'm just let it be known. My brother's birthday is December 25th.
Gina, that's his name.
They've never found a bullet in
That's
him.
his name?
No, his name is Ronald.
Oh, okay. Wait, I'm about to get off of this show right now.
Yeah,
I'm about to get off here.
You about to go into the sheets, huh?
But I'm just
I'm going to my avatar. I ain't gonna look down there no more.
but
I mean, both of us would have clocked out and be like, click.
Because I never would even met my brother. It's a 6-year difference. My brother, this probably happened. My brother was 4 years old. But like I say, he got 4 kids, 8 grandbabies, and hey, still going good. And hey, God is real. And like how we speaking on caregivers earlier, I'm not speaking. I don't want to speak on the point from a caregiver. I want to speak from the point of a person that needs the care, because I've been there. I know what it is. I know what it is I know what it is to be laid up in a rehabilitation center trying to get well with all the nursing home folks. I've been there. I went to the hospital just for, I thought I was having a seizure. And it was my blood pressure and all type of stuff started going on. Next thing I know, they rushing, getting metal out my arm, all type of stuff. And to be put in that predicament at such a young age, I was messed up mentally.
Well,
You
man,
know,
I
think the sister had mentioned earlier about her having a stroke and kind of understanding some of the limitations or independent factors that she could kind of sympathize a little bit more with her mom. And I kind of got placed in that same predicament when I had COVID. And I was in the hospital for 21 days on ventilation for 7.
Man.
And I had double pneumonia. And my prognosis was grim, to say the least. When I finally came to, and they lowered the dosage of the medication, you know, the first thing the doctor told me, he said, tens of thousands didn't make it, and you one of the ones that did.
Man.
He said, I haven't seen somebody fight as hard as you did. And
COVID wasn't no joke.
That COVID, I found out later that they had tried a procedure on me that they hadn't done that for no one. And so they was flipping me over every 2 hours. To loosen up the phlegm and the
that's what they had
from my lungs and stuff like that. And so that was one of the things that I've learned that they did. And you know, one of the things I've learned in this process is that you get visited by the spirit.
Trust me, I know.
And
definitely,
I had that visit. You know, and while I was under, I had an experience. I can honestly tell you, I didn't see any figures, but I heard voices. You know, just telling me that I was going to be okay and that I was going to be all right. And they put like this huge blanket over me, and all I seen was like spectrums of light. You know, like when you shine light through like a diamond or glass. That's pretty much all I've seen.
Like fraction.
Just to look
at
glim.
on the wall, and then next thing I know, I heard the nurse say, "You're biting down on the tube." And so I must have had a reaction to what that was. The other thing was my mom was on ventilation. Kind of the last time she was on ventilation is they took the tube out, and she said, "I had the worst dream." I said, "Well, what is it?" She said, "I was seeing myself in a graveyard in the hospital, And I kept walking through these doors, and I kept walking into the graveyard, walking into the hospital. And next thing I know, I stayed in the hospital." I said, just to have her to tell me that experience really lets me know that there are spirits out there that visit us during those times that we are in those present states, and so a lot of times we hear about it. You go to church, you hear about it, you hear about it.
Yeah, that's crazy. You go to church,
but to experience it, I can honestly say that was a different experience for me. And to come out of that COVID, I mean, even though I came out of the hospital in 21 days, 4.5 months I was on ventilation. Oxygen.
That's crazy. Thank God you're here, man. We appreciate you.
Thank God you're here, man. Glad I had a chance to meet with you and
I'm gonna tell you my out of body experience when it's my turn to talk at the end. Okay, so we do have to get ready to load up and get out of here. Okay, but thanks. We'll give you a moment, and then we're gonna go around the room.
I'll say this. Caregiving is a touchy subject within any community, but it's an avoided subject in the Black community. A lot of times we're so void of medical care and also afraid to even go to seek what's wrong with us. And so I encourage you on this day, you hear my voice, to go and get checked out.
Do that, y'all.
Leave it at that.
Do that. Steve-O. I say Steve.
Hey, I just want to say this too. How we were speaking on the caregiving earlier. My thing is, caregiving, when it comes to your family, it should never be a money issue. Because I tell you this, when it comes to that, one thing I learned about money goes show if a person is a good person or a bad person. A person that cares for someone is going to do what they do because they care. I just say this real quick. Where I live is this one nice lady. She's about 87 years old. Today she told me she has no family and I'm her only friend. And I told her that it's cool with me and we are BFFs. I met this woman 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
But and like I told her that, you remember my name? She was like, Steve. And that's all she got to do. And like I told her, I gave her my number. You need any help, just call me. Because it's my heart. Because I've been there. And I know at any point in time, it may happen where I can end up back there.
There you go. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
God is love, love is God.
There it is. I mean, that is so true. And going back to what Brother Banks said, I had a similar, I had health care myself. Shortly after me and Greg started back talking and stuff, I had a stroke, 2019. And, I'm sitting up here talking to you now because of the grace of God right now. I'm telling you, a lot of folks don't know I had a stroke because of God. It wasn't nothing else. And the thing I've learned is that it's important for us to tell our kids and anybody that's listening how much you love them and to go get themselves checked out. You feel sick? Go get checked out. Again, the money, it's going to be a charge, but you're going to know what's wrong with you, that's for sure. And you're going to get some help. Go get yourself checked out. Don't let this be a taboo for our community anymore by going to the doctor. I mean, your advice from Granny is fine, because we'll take some advice from Granny in a heartbeat. We're talking about go in there and get that granddaddy, bring it in here and pour this honey in it and get it going.
That castor oil.
But what we need to do is we need to check out our professionals. I mean, preferably in our communities, so they know what's going on with us, because we're not going to survive, as a community if we just keep assuming that we super people.
Right.
We're that too.
What's up, Felicia Trice? Go ahead, Gina.
Well, the Bible is clear about how we are to treat our parents. The 5th commandment says, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. And that's from Exodus 20:12. This commandment and the blessing attached to it are repeated throughout the Old and the New Testament. This is something that I had to share with my granddaughter because of the way she was treating her mom. And I took her to this verse, and I sent it to her, and I made her read it. I made her read it out loud. And a lot of times people don't know why they're going through so much hell. But if they look back and they see how they treated their parents, they would understand why they're going through it. You cannot treat your parents like they're nothing and expect God to bless you. And so this is a commandment that I've always held, and I've always shared with my grandkids, because it's something that they need to know. You need to honor your mother and your father and treat them like they are the kings and queens that they are. They gave you birth. They brought you here. And so this one is dear to my heart.
I feel you. Hey, man, look, this is my mama. All right. I showed y'all this picture before, I think, but this is my mama.
I got it. I got that picture.
And I'm telling you, man, beautiful, beautiful woman. All right. Everybody, this day, everybody thought she was my girlfriend, you know.
She is a girlfriend.
And I'm like, okay, it must be that haircut I had, okay, but still, this is my mom, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful queen, okay. And to see her there, to see her now, I still look at her the same way, all right. And she dances around here. She the other day she was running, okay. She may be losing a portion of who she was, but she's in great health. You know what I'm saying? Felicia says she is my first friend. Yep, absolutely. That's the one that ain't going nowhere. But I want to share with y'all this out of body experience I had real quick. All right. So, because everybody has one. Everybody, I'm quite sure everyone has one.
Do?
So
yes.
I'm blank.
Right.
And I see myself going from sun to rainy and storms. Right. And I know I'm thinking this is real. I'm laying down and I'm just floating from the sunlight, and then it starts getting darker and darker. Then it starts raining and whatever. Okay. And what happens when you wake up? Reality sets in. Okay. What happened when I woke up was that the dog was peeing in the fan. So all of that rain and stuff.
You sick boy.
So you had some pissy drink. Man, if you,
I thought I was going from one realm to another one.
Stop it, Negro. Stop it.
Why is he talking about
another meaning?
It
gave another meaning to piss on my back and make me think it's raining.
Yeah, right. Pissy sprinkling. You got it, Gina. That's what I was looking for.
I'm sitting up here listening to him really intently, just like you know.
Hey Mo, I started to put the tears in it and everything too. But man, honestly, man, seriously, caring for a loved one, man, it's a serious issue.
Right, boy.
And we must talk about it. We must talk about it more than we do, so that people can be understand what number one, those that are going to become caregivers, sometimes very unexpected. Okay? So we have to be able to teach others through conversations like this. Brother Banks, I'm so glad you were listening and were able to come on and share with us as well. Okay, Brother Banks is from Melanin and marriage.
I appreciate it.
It'll be
shed a lot of light on it.
Yes, bro. Come on now, man. Look, I'm gonna be looking for him to, you know, if you ever listen to these conversations and it's something you can add on to, man, let us know. You know, if we got room, we're gonna pop you on. All right, for real. For real.
Well, I'm a CNA, so more of a GNA because I work with the geriatric community, dementia residents specifically.
And it's a lot of stuff that I learned tonight. Okay, so you know, I'm gonna hug my mama. You know what I'm saying? If she wanna get up at 1 o'clock in the morning like she always does. I ain't for that. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna do. No, I'm gonna be up with her. I'm gonna do whatever's necessary while I'm here. You know, I took time.
Playing, man.
I took time so that I could really just make sure that you know, 24 hours sometimes is what she needs. You know, like today she was saying, well, as soon as I walked in the door, she had tears in her eyes talking about, I'm here by myself. And I'm like, well, the housekeeper should have just left. She said, oh, she did? I said, yeah, she did. She said, oh, okay. And she was cool after that. We had conversation, read the Bible to her. It's cool. All right. And that's the other thing too. Get them to a place where they're comfortable. My mom is comfortable with the Bible. So that's what I give her. All right. But let's continue to keep my publicist in our prayers. Katina, she's doing some things, all right, out there with her father. So we're gonna keep her in our prayers. She'll be on as soon as she can, you know, but I told her don't rush. We all right. I said, bro, Banks gonna come on take your place. So he did. And we made sure that we had information to give you guys. Okay, Gina and I talked about this very briefly. Gina said, why not talk about it? All right, it needs to be talked about. And she's
Very important
right.
subject.
She's always right.
This can go on for, you know, days. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a bunch, especially people that, you know, came out of school with us that got parents that are, you know, in that
some
age
of them
group.
some of them need help. The ones that came out of school with us, need help.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep it 100. You know, we're not getting younger, we're getting older. So
that's true.
Let's embrace the people, man. Let's show love. Let's give them flowers, you know, right now so they can smell them. Even if they can't understand why we're being so nice, let's be nice to them anyway. You know what I mean? Let's keep it 100 with them. This is Dope Living TV Live, man. Tomorrow, the birthday girl, Rachel Gary, she coming on with the CEO Nuggets, and we're gonna get fed tomorrow. Mentally, we're gonna get fed. All right. What question will Greg throw at her that's going to stump her tomorrow? Stay tuned. What piece of the conversation is Steve gonna piss her off? Stay tuned.
I don't usually piss Rachel off. Maybe it's just Brother Banks.
You be pissing about Banks off, but Banks he tough.
I'm a hard person to piss off, bro.
We know that now. We definitely know that.
No, that's right.
That's Teflon Don down there, man. But anyway, Relationship Roundtable is Saturday, but we ain't gonna talk about that today. We'll talk about it tomorrow, all right? This is Dope Living TV Live. We'll see you guys then, all right? Peace.
All right. Peace.
Whether in the house or outside, you know that we gon' do it. Make a wrong decision, turn around and still get through it. When you say the name, you know it's us and what we doing. So turn it on and let the bass get booming. Hey, yeah. Dope Living TV, Dope Living TV, Living TV, Dope Living TV, yeah. We got it all. Come and see, yeah.